Just steps away from Winslow's most famous corner, there's a small but mighty operation going on inside this office. Shawn White spends a lot of time here alone, making sure this weekly paper is ready for readers across Navajo County.
A lot of people, especially on the reservation, rely on print journalism as their main source of information.
And when he's not putting out the current week's edition, White is often thumbing through old ones.
This is the full-page ad that all the gas stations took out in 1945 to tell people that the rations were up. In Linden, Henry Neff took his wife to Phoenix on Tuesday for medical treatment. So, this is 1945, so, they had cars and everything, but it was still a several-hour trip to Phoenix.
In an era where many of his peers get their news from TikTok and social media, White is making old-school headlines of his own.
It's kind of funny that I fell into this.
Today, he wears many hats at the Painted Desert Tribune: delivery driver, reporter, editor, and more recently, owner and publisher.
Turns out that a 24-year-old with no credit to buying a newspaper that is going out of business is not necessarily the thing that banks want to fund most.
White grew up in Winslow, studied journalism at ASU, and landed a reporting job back home in 2022 at what was then the Tribune.
Most of the people that I report on have known me since I was 4 years old. It babysat me when I was in diapers, which is always fun and definitely not awkward at times.
Just months into his career, the 115-year-old paper was on the brink of shutting down.
And so I floated the idea that I would buy it. I put together every dollar I had. My parents pitched in.
White spent $16,000 to buy the paper's assets, essentially getting the Tribune for free. He renamed it the Painted Desert Tribune.
It kind of allowed people to go, okay, this is a regional newspaper. This represents all of us.
The problem? White only had enough money to keep the paper going for 3 weeks. That's when he says his hometown stepped up.
I started making phone calls. People who weren't used to taking out print ads or ads at all started taking out ads. They started supporting it. They started seeing the value in it.
Now, more than a year later, this Gen Z publisher says he's stabilized the paper.
We probably sell out of maybe 30 or 40 stores. We're expanding. We're going to a few more. We just, the bakery in town just started carrying us.
Circulation is also holding steady. White says just under 2,000 homes.
The average Tribune reader gives their paper to 3.5 people before they throw it away.
White has retained his small handful of staff and is looking to hire another reporter. He still writes most of the paper.
If you love what you do, are you working? The answer is yes, you are.
While most people his age are just starting out in their careers, White is ensuring his hometown still has a voice.
We just want to make reporting here as good as possible. This area of the world gets far overlooked too much.
In Winslow, Kyle Simchuk, 12 News.